Hello, I'm Raymond Mayfield, and thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today. I commend you for listening to my studies in all the book of chapters of Revelation. I'm going through every chapter, and today I'm in chapter 17. This chapter describes Mystery Babylon, Revelation 17:3-5. It says, I saw a woman sitting up on a scarlet-colored beast, full of the names of blasphemy, and having 7 heads and 10 horns. And it also says the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and metals, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. It would be good for everyone that listens to this message to read that entire chapter 17. It deals with what we call mystical Babylon, where chapter 18 deals with the literal Babylon, which I believe is going to rebuild, and I'll cover that in my next session. This is not a new religion. In fact, it has flourished throughout all the time zones throughout the history of time. It began as a cult instituted by Nimrod at the Tower of Babel. Her queen Semiramis seduced the people into accepting a false religion while they were building this Tower of Babel. The religion was built around her and her son, who she claimed was supernaturally conceived, trying to emulate an unholy trinity, and make ridicule of our wonderful Lord, who died and was resurrected on the 3rd day. This religion throughout the centuries has never died. It appears in the Greek worship of Aphrodite and Venus and the Greek god Adonis and others. Even the Israelites fell for this false religion in Jeremiah 44:16-22, and Jeremiah pronounced a curse upon all of those that participated in the worship of this false religion, idolatry. Many virgins were dedicated to Tammuz, son of Semiramis, who were alleged to have died and been resurrected. Mystery Babylon has always been associated with idolatry in some form. The words abomination, whore, and fornication all referred to idolatry and religious unfaithfulness. The woman in this chapter is described as having religious zeal. She was decked out in gold and precious stones, and she is always emulating and putting on a performance like she has great religious zeal. This religion will flourish during the tribulation period. It's a false religion. The angel identifies this woman as the city, the great, which has a kingdom over the kings of the earth in Revelation 17 and 18. The Antichrist will gain control over mystical Babylon in the tribulation period, and he wants to direct all of his worship, of course, to himself. When it refers to that city, many people think that refers to New York City. We can't tell you for sure what city that talks about, which identifies itself as that woman flourishes under the name of a religious zeal. But they worship idolatry, and we don't know the name of that city. And I have a lot of respect for people who have thought it's been New York City, and definitely New York City has the Antichrist spirit all about it. But I want to tell you, idolatry is all over this world, and I want to tell you today, come out from that Babylonian spirit. Don't worship anything that comes under the guise or guidelines of idolatry. It's everywhere you turn. You need to keep your eyes open, and Christians, be aware. It's all over television. It's everywhere you go. This is Raymond Mayfield alerting you today. Jesus is coming soon. He's coming after a church, a glorious church without spot or wrinkle. Thank you for listening today. I'll talk to you again real soon.